Hi. Welcome, everyone. What's up? Happy Monday. And, oh my gosh, I did not mean to open that. Okay. Happy Monday. What up? How's it going, everyone? Oh, it's a French crab. Hello. It's been quite the past 24 hours, I'll say that much. What is up? Halcyon, Monday, Soth, Jobster, Spide, Jester, Evil Fox, Fabricio, Akun, Kawai, Ray, Nightwalker, Luna. What is up, everyone? Welcome, welcome. Jolzy178, hello. Neko Memes. Samu, oh, Samu, hello. It's not often that you're able to attend one of our streams, because I often stream at times that are horrendous for you, Samu. Welcome. What up, Palaguin, Jack? What is going to happen? How's it going? Kawhi, it's I just saw in chat as well. Good to hear that Papa Kawhi is doing well. That's very good to hear. He's been in mine and Mrs. Connery's thoughts. What is going to happen, everyone? Act 2 of Fontaine today. Crap on hat. Oh, becoming more free now. Word. Cool. 20 poll, Nightwalker has 20 polls ready for Risley. Evil Fox has 30. 30 minutes of energy, sorry. I saw polls and then I saw a number. And I was just like, oh, it's clearly polls. This is the Fontaine main theme is so nice. When we were just like floating into the city for the very first time on the Autobahn, and this started playing, this has quickly become, I think Fontaine's my favorite region. My wife asked me that last night when we were hanging out. She was like, what do you think your favorite region is? I'm like, I think Fontaine has already taken the #1 spot. Narrowly beating out. Why does that also sound bad? Narrowly beating Sumeru. And then Liyue, I think, is in 3rd place. Then Inazuma, then Mondstadt. I actually put Mondstadt in last place, which I feel bad about, because Mondstadt's not a bad. There are no bad nations. I even really liked Inazuma a lot. Whoa, hold on. Halcyon and Jellycutters, thank you so much for the subs. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's why, because for some reason I have this window muted. I didn't hear the notifications. Thank you for this. Oh my gosh, thank you. And a hype train. Thank you. My goodness. Yeah, everyone's saving up for, are a lot of people gonna go for Risley because he's so much more rare to Banner versus Farina? Saw, thank you for gifting that sub to Dex the Cowboy. Thank you for gifting that sub. I appreciate you so much, Saul. Thank you for gifting that sub over to Dex the Cowboy. I appreciate it. Oh, his weapon. When I rate my favorite regions and stuff, it's a combination of story and also I take into account the characters as well. The characters that we meet during the story, exploration around the region. Honestly, Inazuma gets held back because I love the region. I love like the Inazuman countryside and everything, the islands and everything, but navigating the world is a whole lot easier with some aliases. Navigating around Inazuma and having to use like just the fact that it's trying to kill you constantly, it's cool and it's challenging, but it's done in a way that's kind of annoying sometimes, especially those damn electro things that you swing through the sky with, like the beta test of the fish portals. Ugh, I could not stand that. Yeah, similar. I think that's exactly how my rating goes. Fontaine, Sumeru, Liyue, Inazuma, Mondstadt. And I feel bad about I feel bad about putting Mondstadt in last place, but it's just, you know, it was the starting area. It was Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley. But Inazuma is brought up a lot. Like, it's made up for in the characters. I honestly really liked the story. Despite the shortcomings of the story, like, it was far too rushed. We did not get enough time. We got way too much time with characters that weren't essential to the story and we didn't really care about, by which I mean the 3 Inazumans who lost their vision. And we didn't get enough time with characters that would have enhanced the story, like Shogun. Like Shogun and A. Like diving deeper into the difference of them. We've talked about that before. But overall, Inazuma, I put very high, and Kokomi as well. Yeah, the fish. Let's ride the Autobahn into the city, and then I have my expedition and commissions to grab, so we can just ride to the city and then hop over to Catherine, and then we'll go back. Then we'll go over to the restaurant or whatever this is, because I believe that's where our next quest is. Avestris, thank you for the sub. Oh my gosh, is that 4 subs in the first 10 minutes of a stream? Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. What am I doing? Y'all got me stun locked over here. I got Fischl 5 phase. I know Fischl. I got Fischl phase 5'd. What am I hearing? And Mona also is somehow I got Fischl and Mona at the exact same attack. I don't know how that happened. They're both at 1337. I don't know how that worked.
Universe and founded pair.
I prefer Peaches. 45 by 63 for her crit, and 109 ER is not the best, but it's a good start for her. And then 34 by 73 and 204. That ER I'm liking for Mona, because that's primarily what I use her for, is just grabbing her burst and then switching to someone else, which is she has the Favonius Codex. The Thrilling Tales honestly is probably a better one for her, but until I can get more ER into her with artifacts, she'll stick with the Codex because she needs the 41% ER that the Codex gives her. But I'm enjoying trying them out. And then Lynette, I didn't invest any more into, but she did steal Jean's artifacts again, so she's all the way up at 1300 attack despite being level 50, because she's got some not even stuffed artifacts, but all three of these are attack main stats. Speaking of fates, we have, oh my gosh, I have 233 more as well. Sometimes the law, I can buy another Intertwined. Bought my ones in the Stardust. I am planning on grabbing my C4 Xingqiu as well. Balls Enjoyer, thank you for the follow. Thank you for that follow. I forget who Tao, who is next after, like, in 28 days. Obviously it's gonna be a hot minute, but after Ningguang and Xingqiu, who comes to the store next? Because Beidou was last time. Beidou and Noelle, because I got my C1 Beidou and my C1 Noelle last month. But we are all the way up at 55 wishes stockpiled from skipping this banner, and then a ton of primos from the event, from the festival, and Oh, Razor and Amber. Oh. Yuck. But we have 9 standards. So let's pull on a standard banner. My wife also on her account got, who did she get recently? She got Goro, but I talked about that. She got another character that I forget. She's been having crazy luck on her pulls. Oh, that's right. Mizuki will be on, will be a standard 5 after 5.4. Thing I'm most looking forward to in 5.4 is the artifact quality of life thing. That's gonna come in very handy. I'm still hoping for a Dia on this banner. On standard. Because frankly, I would much rather pull a Dia on standard than lose my 50-50 to her. But I would kind of be okay losing Risley's 50-50 to Dia. Because as far as cryo goes, I don't know how much I need a cryo DPS necessarily. I just want a Risley. I just want to add him to the collection. He has that, like... I could see him in a live action being played by Henry Cavill. He has that, like, I don't know. Ooh, a 4. Oh, Dia on Selector in 6.0, that's true. Oh my gosh, another Rust. I did not need another Rust, but... but I'll take it. How many Rusts do I have at this point? Because I don't have someone who... I don't have a bow character who thrives off of their normal attacks like Yoimiya. It's on Amber right now. Because I've been running Amber in my wife's world. Oh my gosh, I now have an R5 enhance refine. I now have an R5 Rust. Making sure this is refine, not ascend. So I'll take that now to 80%. And it'll still only decrease charging attack damage by 10%. That's good, huh? So the refinement increases the good stuff, but doesn't increase the bad stuff. Man, have I been pulling so many freaking Rusts? It looks good on her. The, like, blood red with her bright scarlet. It's just, you know, it's Amber.
Sometimes the two conflict. Balancing the two is a dis...
Balancing the two is a diss? I don't think that's a diss, Yanfei. Calm down. My first 5-star, by the way.
It's time to set sail. Let's go.
Need more Favonius Lances.
Welcome aboard the Clementine line. I am top-rated tour guide Avo at your service. I would like to ask our guests from abroad. Did you bring any light and breathable clothing?
Yeah, look at it, Aval.
The land of Fontaine is mostly covered by temperate waters, and there's only a minimal temperature difference between day and night. It's relatively warm all year round. The humidity is also very high, so it's easy to end up sweating even after light physical activity. Some tourists may even find it a bit hot and muggy. Oh, come to think of it, maybe I shouldn't have said the land of Fontaine, but the waters of Fontaine instead.
Whoa, I can tour guide the aqua bus. Aval's like, did you bring any light and breathable clothing? It's like, Aval, this is the most famously infamous clothing in the entire game. Let me put it this way, Aval. Before I played Genshin, I knew about Mona's outfit. DPS physical Amber was a thing back in the day? What that? Why? I mean, frankly, that's kind of the only thing you can really do with her.
Just a tour guide. In fact, I used to catch evildoers with the Marechaussee Phantom.
Marechaussee.
But because I worked so hard, I was promoted to the Aquabus. Now I can watch the beautiful scenery along the waterway all day, and even see Elinas. Everyone's been so nice to me. So I really want to work hard and make all of my passengers happy. So please, if you had any feedback for me on this trip, feel free to let me know.
I'm sure Constellation to Amber can do a lot, but as far as C1 Amber, there's not a whole lot you can do because Baron Bunny isn't that great of a taunt, and her burst has such a small radius and lasts so short. The best thing about Amber is that she does her job really, really well, which is when you're 2 seconds into the game, Baron Bunny is a decent taunt.
Closely, you might notice that a lot of Clockwork Mecha have a helical gear shape printed on them. This means it uses the kinetic core designed by Alain Guillotin. This kind of core, let me remember what the tour guidebook said. These cores can utilize the power produced by the mutual annihilation of Usia and Numa energies.
Usia, that's how you pronounce that.
What does annihilation mean? Is it like being extinguished?
I'll tell you when you're older, Eval. Man, Fontaine's so pretty. Was Fontaine the introduction of the local legends, by the way? Or had I just not ran into them in Sumeru? She's 500, but do they live to the like 10,000? She's still like 6. That was math. It was the introduction. Oh, the twisty tree over there.
Speaking of our Chief Justice, Monsieur Neuvillette, dear passengers, please don't hold back your feelings of respect and adoration. Monsieur Neuvillette is the pillar of all of Fontaine.
Oh, that's a pillar in Fontaine.
This is a single public trial of the Opera Epiclese, and he still has so much other work to do. And despite all this, he's still so patient and gentle towards us Melusines.
Oh, that's right. He's the one.
It's obvious that without him, all of Fontaine would grind to a halt.
He's the one who.
I'm just a nobody. I've never even had a chance to speak to him. But maybe y'all get a chance.
I thought she said y'all for a second. Maybe y'all get a chance. He's the one who took them isn't the right word, but who brought them up to the surface. I can't remember if that was mentioned on this line or the Navia line. Yep, he kidnapped them.
We've arrived.
I still haven't gotten this.
Calm breeze and gentle swaying of the boat made you sleepy? It's understandable. The Aquabus service strives to provide a relaxing journey for all passengers.
Is it on top of there?
Dozing off to a Melusine commentary with the beautiful sights of Fontaine around you must surely be a recipe for a sweet dream. Maybe I can take a part-time job telling bedtime stories to kids. Or I could just record the tour commentary.
Yeah, make a podcast.
Lashow's workshop sells all kinds of curious clockwork mecha. Maybe even custom voice recording equipment.
What Genshin characters would be the most likely to create a podcast? See ya. Mona would oh my gosh, Fischl would oh no. Fischl would definitely make a podcast. Maybe Fischl and Mona. Oh, that's not Mona. Maybe Fischl and Mona would have a podcast together. Charlotte. Oh, definitely Charlotte, yeah. Where am I going? I'm going upstairs. I need to go to, I just went in here and clicked a floor, and we'll just go to whatever floor that is. Oh, Ito, advertising the gang. Rick, thanks for the follow. Which is more valuable? Well, it's I don't know where I was going with that. It's all about economies of scale. No one is more valuable than the other. They all have their uses. Where am I going? Up here is where it is. Ito has no funds for the podcast. Does Mona author a oh, she's from... Mona is from Fontaine, isn't she, originally?
There'll be an extra fee for I'll think about it.
None of them believed me. I tell you. Where is Catherine? There she is.
Can we play Banker next time?
No.
Astra. Thank you for
Thank you for compass.
Astra.
Boop. And boop. Just send everyone back out. I think just rocks and Mora is what I need right now. Nice, nice, nice. Battle pass. And it got me 72,000 Mora. Yeah. Oh no, she's from Mondstadt? Why did I think that she is from Fontaine and is just in Mondstadt because of inconvenience? Because she spent all her Mora getting down there.
I'll think about it.
She writes oh, she has a column in the Steambird. That might be why I thought that. Hi, just running up to me. Okay. Act 2. We can teleport over. It's fine. It's fine. Now, before we head in there, just gotta make sure one more time. Any other housekeepings or things I need to do first? Got Knight Rider up to level 10 as well, so that's cool. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're good. I think I'll run the Law and Order team today, at least for maybe the first part of it. Light and shadow weave a tapestry as dreams and reality merge and collide. Can you see through it and find the truth hidden by the magic? Tonight, the most dazzling twin stars of the court of Fontaine shall reveal the secret. I wonder who those are.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Every time I look at her, I think that she has Conrian eyes. I get jump scared every single time. I'm like, wait, are you? Oh, never mind.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Certainly worth celebrating.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. is, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
That's true.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Preposterous.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
Yeah, almost like that was intentional.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters.
She kind of seemed like she has a very similar accent slash tone. Rex Lapis assassinated. To Mona. Why does her voice remind me of Mona a lot?
It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exists. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
Find sister, build harem. Not necessarily in that order. We wanted to ask the Hydra Archon for some information, but we haven't had much opportunity to do so with her, you know, trying to get us.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina.
I bet.
I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
The hell do you mean by that, Navia? Would you consider, I don't know, kidnapping the president? Would you consider stealing the Declaration of Independence?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Without hesitation.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
I mean, you act the fool all the time.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
That sounds like a great idea, Navia.
I can personally testify that this one works.
What?
I'm sleepy? I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
How can you overlook something like that?
All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. false accusation she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
It's worth a try. Would someone with her personality really feel shame? Worth a try.
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fonta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
My drink also tasted that way too. You trying to poison me? You got some money for me, boy?
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
That was an odd thing to mention.
Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
You could try floating a little lower. I wonder how much energy it takes to actually float.
Can't you see Paimon's barely an inch off the ground?
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Yeah. That was a pretty pricey meal. All thanks to Paimon.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority.
Thanks, homie.
In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See you again, partner. Happy trails.
See ya!
Act 2. As light rain falls without reason. You know what? That's something I completely forgot about. Is that is Lynette's little seems like rain, which was I laughed about because like, yeah, no shit, Lynette, it's rain. But it's an interesting thing to note for the game to note. Because they could have just like, it could have just been raining and then the game was just like, hey, it's the first time there's been rain in the city. But for Lynette to call it out, it was like, It does seem like rain, doesn't it? Unless it's Elinus reawakening and pissing on all of us. I don't know why I would say that. I've said this before. If any of you are content creators or like streamers or YouTubers or anything like that, don't completely remove your brain mouth filter. Keep a little filter in place, you know? Don't just take it out wholesale. I relate. Yeah, it never rains in other cities. It'd be really easy for them to just be like, oh yeah, it's first time for it to just rain, and then you could be like, oh yeah, it's the first time it's rained in a city in Genshin. But then Lynette calls it out. You're like, oddly specific dialogue choice there, Genshin. I'm sure, just like everything in this game, it's just a coincidence. There are no accidents. Sorry, I'm from Mondstadt. It's a Mondstadt tradition.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Aranias might have been the last one.
Air in the ass. Oh, we heard that before.
Looks like we're back here again.
We heard that when we were first here, but we heard it in a like the when the whole screen like went weird, as if it was it reminded me a lot of in Sumeru.
Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Yes, and it's clearer than it was during the day as well.
Ugh, that's kind of spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache? Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water.
I can feel strong emotions.
Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kind of hear a voice.
Oh, you can hear it too?
It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler, stop walking. Come on, wake up.
He's in a trance. We go back to Irminsul again. Oh my gosh, is that Oceanid? It is! What the frick? Where is this? Oceanid's kind of cute. I'd like a plushie of Oceanid. I want a plushie of everything in this game. Where is this?
Vache, are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
I'm afraid not. I'm just an assassin from your homeland, or a fool who trespasses upon the waters of Qingse.
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
Well, hold on. I didn't realize that this was Oceanid question mark. You were once human?
Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore.
You lost your form.
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
Oh shit! Could have been one of the girls was dissolved.
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
So you need me to find him?
No. Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
I believe it will be hard for him to forget you.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
Vache was a witness to the fact that you dissolved.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
So after the body is dissolved, some measure of the consciousness still remains.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Is that Paimon? I wonder how much time has passed in reality. It's been centuries. Again. Wonder how much time has passed in reality.
Farewell then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vacher, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Weird interaction. What is happening?
Demoiselle, look out!
Oh, look at her sword, too.
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
But why?
Clorand?
Oh, I thought she was leading the Gardamex for a second.
Quick, now's our chance!
Holy! Hello, buttons.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
Was she using one of the craftable claymores as well?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, Demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
I really like Clorand's voice.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with a Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago.
Oh, weird.
They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law.
How did that many unregistered robots just wander in here? And how long were we out for then?
I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Interesting.
I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
What just happened? Who was the? Ether kind of knows about her because she was there when we met Farine the first time. Who was that?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Thanks for the rescue, Navia.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Thanks, Paimon.
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said.
Oh, the salty Fanta.
That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky?
Wait, do you mean that I thought it tasted strange as well. Wait, do you mean that?
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
Fortunately, neither of us are from Fontaine. Otherwise, we would have been... That's interesting. Damn.
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name.
But they're...
Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Because they're Fatui, Paimon. Or at the very least, they're... I don't know to what extent. I don't know yet. And don't tell me. But I don't know to what extent yet the twins are Fatui. You know, like, are they agents or are they just, like, involved with the Fatui, or were they adopted by them, or were they, you know? But that's... Why would they go after them? All we did was defend one of the, like... What the hell am I trying to say? All we did was defend two people who are from the Fatui, who is the main antagonist since we've been in Mondstadt.
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too. But it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
According to Lynette, the ability to hear voices like that has to do with one's sensitivity to the hydro element.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
Also gained some new intel.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we?
The voice in the fountain belonged to one of the missing women. A person named Vacher was a witness when she dissolved.
Oh, that is important.
Connected to the Oceanid's consciousness.
Vacher. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
If he's still alive, we should try searching for him. Yeah, I was also wondering, like, how long ago maybe was that? Was that a recent, like, is this a recent thing that they were the Oceanid was talking to us about, or is this something that happened centuries ago? You know?
Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
All right, partner.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Messing with us will cost them. This will prove to be their biggest mistake.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
Look at her face. Look at that.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
All right, Agent S. It only goes up to 20 years. I heard that in Act 1. I guess I just forgot that completely. Imagine that. Go to the Spina di Rosula stronghold. Haha. Agent S here. Oh, also, I think it was at 70 during last stream, but Arla's weapon's at 70 and Arla herself is at 80, and all of her gladiators are topped off. For the time being, I'm gonna stick with Gladiator on her until I can get some really good rolls on her signature set, because this is her stats right now, and that's pretty damn good for Arla for world level 8. Oh, it's just a sweet flower. Oh, we're going clear over there. Official says, Oh, it was the dog with the monocle.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, Traveler.
Do you think he's a Melusine? I'm sorry. Oh, we're going down. Oh, I thought this was the sewers. I wandered up to this before, and I was like, definitely not going down there. That's for damn sure. Oh, also, look, I got the Inazuma wings. I only was 110 or something reputation points away. And so all it was just one request and one bounty. And I got my wing. And they look damn good on Shogun. Of all of the combinations of wings and character, This one just looks so good on her. It's like the Xbox wings on Nahida. It just looks like it could be her signature wings. The achievement I just got. Maybe the achievement is likely a reference to a poem called Lenek en Floivs by Hungarian poet Sandor Petful. The title translates to "I would be a river. I would be river water." Huh. Have you guys read the description of the Xbox wings? If you haven't read it, it's worth a read, especially for y'all who are post Natlan players, because this is a bombshell even for me, for where I'm at in the game. But I was not expecting to get lore drops in Xbox wings. Superhero landing. This is the sewers. Oh man, this reminds me of Half-Life 2. When you're going through the canals. And you find the secret base.
There's a lizard. I got the lizard.
Any hidden chest? Whoa, why is this interactable? Any hidden chests over here, milady? It doesn't appear so. Okay, I'll leave you be. I'm in a weird mood today. As if that's different from my normal. Yep. Whoa! Bro, there's 10,000 Mora in there. That's why they were cheering. They're like, 10,000 Mora! 10,000 Mora in this dumpster cart. What is this music? Whoa! Also, the mixing on this music has reverb that makes it seem like it's playing in the sewers. Like it has that echo to it. Like the faint moonlight of yesteryear. Talk to Manus. What is this? What is this place? What is it? Dragons? Ah. There he is. He's over there. Wah, 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 wah. Didn't mean to fall all the way down. Sorry, I walked on your fish. Okay, he is over there. Oh, ah, 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 ah! Now this is giving me, this is gonna be a really weird comparison, but this is giving me vibes to, this is giving me vibes of one of the settlements in Starfield. Which I was very disappointed with, but I still enjoyed my time with Starfield. Okay, let's just go talk to him. It is a Les Mis section. It actually is.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Don't be rude, Paimon.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Thank you.
Well, Our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
So how did you get that whole... Oh, wait. This was made for you by It was Chiori, right? I don't know how I know that, but I know that.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Oof, big shoes to fill. To feel? Big shoes to fill. Fill, not feel.
Your father, he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No, I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets.
That's a rough name.
3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
Oh, I bet that contributes to why she has static with Clorin, maybe?
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that.
Oh, that's recent as well. I thought that was gonna be when she was like a child or something for some reason.
How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
Does seem quite odd. Wild Wolf, thanks for the follow. Welcome aboard. Yeah, it does seem quite odd. And do you have any clues as to why?
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
Man, there's a whole ass conspiracy in this region.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Seeking the truth for the sake of your family. You know, we're quite alike in this regard.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
Of course they would be, and maybe they were silenced? Question mark.
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel. was Ms. Clorand.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
No wonder the mood was a little strange, Ether, between the two of you.
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Ms. Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either.
It reminds me of in Kazuha's voice lines. He has a very pragmatic view on Tomo's death. He's like Tomo knew the risks of going into that duel, and it also seems like the Shogun didn't delight in killing Tomo either. It's just like that was the rules. You lost, you die.
She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Ms. Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
Then that indicates that he intended to die in that duel.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
It's okay.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah. Paimon's beat.
Yeah, it's still the same day as when we won the trial.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
For Ether in game, it's been an action-packed last 48 hours for him.
Whether it be responsibility for Spina di Rosula or Master Callus's death, it all landed on Demoiselle's shoulders so suddenly. This won't do. I must become stronger.
Why are these interactable?
Delve into destiny.
Where did that go, Mona? She threw it down there. You can also sit here. Oh, it's just a source of pyro? Indeed. Peaceful night passes under the Spina di Rosula's protection.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina di Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vacher.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere.
Interesting.
I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vacher person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, We should be able to find some related information there.
Is that how you're supposed to pronounce that? Am I just dumb? Like, Oceanid.
So Nervalette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you.
He seems much more important to the story than you would think.
In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we?
He seems like so much more than just the judge or whatever. Judge Dredd.
Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
Just seems like he seems like a much more powerful entity, and not in terms of strength, in terms of influence. He seems like an extremely powerful entity in Fontaine in terms of his influence and like his connections, his decision making, like his word. Like if it gets his stamp of approval or his denial. For those who are new, I was 1000% sure. I've said this so many times, but I still was gobsmacked about. Hello? Why am I talking to a tent tortoise? Hello? That's right. You can't talk. You won't even so much as call out to me. Does your silence indicate displeasure? Is it too much to ask to expect you to make some noise? All right then, in that case, I humbly beg your forgiveness. Impressive. You've won my respect. What? I said this several times before, but I'm still surprised by it. I was 1000% positive that Neuvillette was the Archon. But he still seems like a very influential and significant figure in Fontaine. I mean, obviously, just from Act 1 you can tell that, but he just seems like it's a lot more than just his legal proceedings and stuff. I'm just stealing all the Mora from these kids. They only had $200 and I just pocketed it. Big brother, this place is kind of narrow. We can't race like this. It's fine. The adults say the boats can sail wherever there's water. Why don't we make small boats, you know, like the aquabuses? Oh, nice. And then we can race using those boats, can't we? Good idea. Now, as for the materials, should we go ask Mr. Hugues? Must we? Every time we ask him to fix a toy, he'll deliver something completely different back to us. What the hell? But isn't that a good thing? If he can turn a boat into an aircraft, I'd even work for him, really. I don't know why you guys have stuck around so fucking long. Oh, she can't go underneath this? Okay, we're going back up to the surface. Most likely pronouncement to Ugo. Hugo Weaving? We should go ask we should go ask Hugo Weaving to repair our toys. We should go ask who? Hugo Weaving. You know, the Matrix, Megatron. What else does Hugo Weaving do? Why am I minimalizing Hugo Weaving to just the Matrix and Transformers?
The palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Indeed. Come on. But first, let me use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, Spides, bro, get some rest. Thank you for sticking around even this long. Thanks, homie. Appreciate you. Such fine weather. You think so too, don't you? I've already talked to you, actually. What are you doing? I'm patrolling and enjoying the weather as I do. Whether rain or shine, it's a good day for a Melusine. Bonk. There we go. Whoa. Look at this place. Ooh, I have this as an option to craft in my in my teapot, but I haven't crafted one yet. Look at these carpets, too. Point.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalet's files are really secure.
Yeah, I wonder why, Paimon.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
Is this Diona's VA? Why does the voice sound so familiar?
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
This is Jimmy Neutron's VA? That's amazing.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Thanks so much.
Oh my... You're so small!
If you're new here, don't run off on your own, or you might not be allowed.
Oh, wait. Oh, she actually stops talking if you get too far away. Hello there. If you're lost, please turn back. Some of the rooms here are restricted access only. What rooms are there in here? If I were to tell you, you'd get curious, so it might be best if I simply don't. Monsieur Nivelette's office is just over there by the side, this much everyone knows. And well, Lady Farina lives on the top floor. She's a real celebrity, so she really doesn't have any time slots free. But not to worry, the Maison Gardiennage and the Marachose Phantom are also upstairs, so anyone with ill intent will not be getting very far regardless. Tell me about Lady Farina. There's a special entrance that leads to her suite which isn't accessible from here. If you really wanted to get there, you could try jumping off the roof. Someone did once try to do this. Fortunately, his life didn't wind up in any danger. He's presently hard at work at the Fortress of Maripide. She's so small, bro. Wait, hold on. Where's I have her. My shortness barometer. Look at that blank expression. There is no thoughts in this attorney's head. Imagine you roll up to your case and this is the expression your attorney greets you with.
If you're new here, don't run off on your own, or you might not be allowed to leave.
Okay.
Please come in.
Ooh. Quite the office, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
I'm sure that's gonna fly in court. I'm
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
Man, his banner, his recent banner was literally Law and Order. Was actually Law and Order, wasn't it? Because he bannered alongside Zhongli.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
In that case, please wait here.
Who knew that Neuvillette would be so easy to talk to?
I really like his commanding voice too. Don't read into that. Tick tock, tick tock.
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years.
So did he just never report, or was it completely expunged from all records?
There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Guess that's why you and Lynette both talk as if you're fucking robots. I guess that's that. So we're back to square one.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should.
Called out.
It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear.
Harsh.
If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice.
This is not the thing that someone like Navia needs to hear at this moment. It'd be completely inappropriate to say this to her, but what happened to her father is something far bigger than her father. It seems like that whole thing there was something much bigger than just her father that was at work there. That he just like either got caught up in something, or he was part of something, or that he got in the way of something. It just seems like it's much more complex than she's giving it credit for.
My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
But you can also totally understand, like, she earned that outburst. And it wasn't even an outburst. She didn't outburst, like, it was a very reasonable conversation. That's not the right word for it, but monologue, yeah.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
It is. Oh my gosh, I just got chills from something. Let me keep going. I'll explain in a second. I'm going to see where this goes.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
Rain.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Your father's case, was he outside when it happened?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
But there was something you didn't know at the time.
Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
The fact that water can be turned... The fact that water can be turned into people. The fact that people can be turned into water.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner.
Well, I mean...
You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
What do you guys want to do? Because it'd be easy to just like to go over there by ourselves. But is there any additional dialogue if we go with her? Oh my gosh, Spides, rest yourself. With the music, the moment. Just quick TP, okay. You go first.
All right, then I'll wait for you at Poisson.
Night, Spides, thank you. It didn't really, oh, hey. Look at the water splash. Am I just... Oh, that's probably the same water splash they use for puddles and stuff. It just seems like it's special because now it's raining in a city. I don't know where it's going with that. Maybe not. I don't know. Might just be glazing for no reason. That didn't go exactly where I thought it was. Where I thought it was going to go. But I had a thought of what if when something. This is going to be a very rough summary of not summary, but it's going to be a very rough, like, kind of construction of this of something that's thematic in a lot of horror media. That what if when someone turns to water, when someone is killed in this whole conspiracy the fabric of whatever is going on here in Fontaine. What if when someone is killed or turned to water or becomes one with the water of Fontaine, when that happens, it rains. And it's a very specific kind of rain. And when the fact that it's raining tells you something happened. Someone somewhere got turned to water, or someone somewhere fell into the mechanisms of whatever conspiracy is going on here. This is going to be a huge spoiler that I'm about to say. So when I switch to Zhongli, so you can mute, and when I switch to Zhongli, you'll know it's okay to unmute. But in the creepypasta, what was the name of it? Oh, and now it's...
This weather's got me in the mood for reciting some laws.
In the creepypasta Baraska, you learn that this horrible sound that they've been hearing on the mountain, you always thought that it was like some kind of supernatural thing, but it was actually that sound signified, oh, that's when the murderers were killing someone. What if the rain is something like that? Go to Croissant. I was legitimately about to hop on the tram, and then I realized that there wasn't a stop at this island, and I would have had to jump off. What an interesting theme that Fontaine has had, because it's very different thematically from the story of the other previous regions. It's much more... The other regions were much more, like Inazuma, for example, because there was a civil war going on, was much more brute force-like. And this is much more sneaky, in the shadows. It gives me like maybe not LA Noire vibes, but it's much more... It's much less brute force, battle, all that kind of stuff. I really like it. Mystery drama, yeah. She didn't even say her voice line. That's how pissed off she was. Oz, reveal thy thighs. What? You want me to what? Mein Fräulein, that seems incredibly... Shut up. Chicken thighs. Whoa. Wait, hold on. I thought this was a shipwreck from afar. Is this not a shipwreck? It almost looks like a bridge. Like a piece of the bridge. This is the part where Chaco's like, Aval told you this if you'd been listening, you savage. No, it's a ship, right? There's a Oculus over here. Come on, Yanfei, move those little deer feet. Boop. Okay, and we're going down there. Council of Birds. Whoa, holy crap, look at this. It goes down, down in an earlier round. And Sugar, we're going down. Wait, hold on, where? Oh, okay, we need to go down here. Why did I arf with those bird noises? Teleport? The Council of Birds. Have you guys seen the Council of Squirrels in Chenyu Vale? Oh my gosh, it's so loud! The waterfall is so loud! I catch dead fish outside of Yulong Wharf! Whoa. It's a shoe. This is a boot. Also, look at this fish. Look at this fish. Isn't it neat? Man, the atmosphere in this place, the volumetric fog and everything. Running this game on Ultra has really spoiled me. Hi. I didn't mean to stand that close to you.
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
It's a dope-ass headquarters.
My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
I think I'm starting to get why you. I think I'm starting to get why you like it.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
Poisson. Poisson. This is a shoe. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh, even out of the water it creeps me out. Ugh. I told you guys that I have a deep fear of the ocean and ocean creatures as well. Yvette. Mind you, don't get hit. Tools aren't living people. They don't know where they're going. How do you do? Oh, a youngster with manners. Looks like you aren't one of those block-headed Spina newbies. I work with those clumsy idiots way too often to maintain a good temper. Of course, not that my temper was ever all that good. May I ask who you are? Right, forgot to introduce myself. I'm the technical advisor to the Spina di Rosula. I might be old, but my hands and brain still work just fine. Now don't let the headaches I get with greenhorns who keep breaking things fool you. I very much enjoy my work here at the Spina. Back when I was at the Fontaine Research Institute, I quit on my own. Too hard working with people with my crappy temper. As it turned out, that was a smart decision. Otherwise, you might have had to find my bones at the bottom of the sea. Things are different here. Doesn't matter. Oh, right. The Research Institute is Minecraft land. The big cubes up in the sky. Doesn't matter if you're 8 or 80, as long as you've got the ability, is a place for you to use it. How fortunate. Yes, perhaps this is how fate is telling me you're on the right path. But as former scientist, I have to say this is all too abstract. In other words, the right path in an orderly society should be one where people with proper capabilities gain recognition. She gave me teachings of order. Doesn't Neverlet also have a voice line about order or something? Do I remember that, or am I making that up? When we did his trial, when he bannered alongside Jongdong. Oh, in the Archon quest, not in his battle lines. Why so eerie all of a sudden? I don't like this fish. It's a jellyfish! That's kind of threatening. Imagine Kokomi walking up to this. It's just like, you step out of line here, and you'll be sleeping with the Kokomis. Okay, where are we going? Up there. This is a whole place to explore. What a sentence. If you hadn't told me, I would have never known that I would have never have known that he was in this line before. I mean, it's not completely unreasonable. Doing dirty business doesn't mean you don't accumulate experience, right? Now, he's changed jobs to some sort of financial consultant, mentioning a few investment trends to the boss every so often for some easy mora. Pretty sweet deal. Agreed. Speaking of which, I'm reminded of some kid who wasn't able to join the Spina de Rosula. Had a silver tongue, he did, but no real ability. Lately, I've heard that he's gotten mixed up with another faction, and he's been walking with a real swagger since. Oh, that's dangerous behavior. Ignoring the police, mermonia like that. Reckon he'll be invited to sing at the opera soon enough. I agree. That was also what I was thinking. And a starfish? Why are they just hanging all of these random sea creatures by
This is a graveyard for the things of the ocean, and nothing more. The sea swallows all.
Whoa. So pretty. Wait, hold on. I'll talk to you in a second. Oh, never mind. I thought there maybe there'd be like a hidden chest or something of substance around here, around these parts. I love this dude's voice.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Malus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could the mastermind be the same person?
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson.
Synth.
At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Drugs.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance.
Oh, that's just a one-stop shop for all of your needs then. Jeez.
As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
So they could have belonged to someone who got dissolved.
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Maybe your father got into an argument with Jacques? It's also possible the third person, maybe they got into an argument?
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
It's not the kind of person Navia is, though. Like, it's gonna be, she's one of those, like, at all costs, like, she's gonna achieve this mission. Also, Melus gives me vibes of, like, an Alfred Pennyworth type of character. He seems like that kind of association. He seems like Navia's Alfred.
If that's indeed what he wished
Kind
for,
of.
then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that, ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
How fucking big is the curling iron that she uses to make these?
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Melus?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live, and the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict, but once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you.
And if he was terminal, that explains why he was so intent on being slain in the ring.
Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight?
Maybe he couldn't.
No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
He gave you the choice to live how you want.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
Yeah. There's a lot of moving parts here, though.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Yep, he's Alfred.
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news.
True.
After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina de Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well.
People we know best.
Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
What's this confrère?
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
It appears there is an imposter among us.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Yes, please.
Aw, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
What a
A
G.
new case awaits, my dear partner.
Leave it to me.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Callus's case records. 3 years ago on a rainy night, banquet goers heard 2 gunshots outside the house. When they reached the scene, Callus had a gun in his hands, and Jacques had been shot and slain. Based on the investigations done then, there was no possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped, and Callus was thus adjudged to have been the culprit. Oh, what a pretty book. That thing. Man, I'm really enjoying this this like mystery conspiracy multi-layered thing going on that Fontaine has. It's so much, I won't say it's more or less interesting, but it's so much different than like 1.0, you know? On the way to slay a dragon. It's so much different. I don't know if I like it better or worse. It's just different because I don't want to talk shit on 1.0. I want to talk shit on Mondstadt, but it is very story. It is very story, milady. Oh my gosh, Nightwalker.
Created another universe.
Navia has it so rough. Lost her mom before getting to know her. Lost her father with a name slandered. Got her fashion sense put in F tier by some random internet squirrel. Look, man, that has nothing to do with her personality. Her personality is S tier. wink.
It is settled then. Please excuse me and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
I debated whether I should say that wink, throw that wink in there, but now that exists on the internet forever.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything
Oh
from
my
us?
gosh, why is this kid mean mugging us?
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
Let's not bother her for now.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
Of course, but nothing you can do or say can bring him back. So she's like, it's under the circumstances, she gets it.
I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you, and to all of us.
I'm sorry.
Yikes.
I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt.
The kid, she's trying to say hello from the other side.
On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
It's the Hydroculus right there.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
So someone ordered Jacques to take out Callis?
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away.
Doesn't mean you should feel guilty. That's not what that means. Like, don't be too hard on yourself.
Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
That's really sweet. And these low poly squids are freaking me the fuck out.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
I don't know if this is intentional, but like for the cinematography of this, when she gets like not flustered, but that's the first time anyone said that to me, and her posture changes so that her hat covers her eyes, like she's shielding her eyes from that. That was I don't know if that was intentional or if that's what that means, but that seemed like really cool cinematography on to me. Testimony from Jacques' family. Jacques' family believes that he had struggled greatly with the order to kill Callus. Did Callus act in self-defense, or was there more to the incident? Why are you looking at that cat, Yenfei? There's 2 cats. I will. You don't have to make anything. I don't want to inconvenience you. Hang on. That is not the correct. There we go.
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Hold that thought, Navia. There's a hydroculus on top of the. There's a hydroculus on top of the ship. Look at these weird. What is this? Oh wait, this isn't a squid. Oh, it's a jellyfish. That's even creepier then. It's an upside down jellyfish with it. Sorry. Sorry for that 4K Ultra HD version of a squirrel retching into the microphone. Come on, Yenfei. Move those little deer legs, ears. Where wasn't it up? What wasn't it on top of this? Bonk. Okay, and now we're going over here. I want an OG Morak skin, just like everyone else does, with the white hood and everything.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
He's like, damn, that's crazy. Anyways.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene.
I don't like this swinging fish. It's creeping me out, bro.
But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person.
I mean, Clorin's gun is a flintlock or a percussion cap, so it's a single shot pistol. So is Chevers's musket. And so it would stand to reason that they would carry multiple weapons because they don't have multi-shot guns, like a revolver or something.
About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
It's very possible. It seems like not only just possible, it seems like that's what happened.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
I mean, that would shake me.
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callis's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callis the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most, and he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Florent, the advisor to the Spina di Rosula, claimed that he was very grateful to Callis for his kindness. He was also present at the banquet on the day of the case, and could provide evidence that Callis did not carry a gun with him when he went out. Look at how high definition the illustration of this pen is. Holy. I am taller than you, therefore I am better than you.
Rise!
Oh, 900 meters away.
Back to Fontaine!
Am I planning to finish Act 2 today? How much longer is long in the long? How much longer is there in this act? At the rate that I go. Hour 30 to 2 hour. Is there a good stopping point up ahead, or is this a pretty good stopping point? Because I might make this, because we're at 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I haven't eaten tonight yet. Seem to be halfway. Halcyon, that seems like a good idea. Let's grab the third suspect, and then maybe let's do just like a tiny bit of exploring, and then end there, and then we continue. Then we can continue tomorrow. Boop. Terry.
Hey, Thierry.
Thierry.
It's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson.
Why would you? You don't have to say it's sussy.
Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Hi, I'm Captain of the Swordfish 2, and this is my floating Sealy.
Ah, yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own.
I've slaughtered so many of your robots, my homie.
Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage.
I mean, you could ask, but they're not going to do it.
If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units.
Interesting. We've been talking about mecha so much right now, and it reminded me of something. This is a complete derailment, but when's the last time Wanderer had a rerun?
They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Makes sense.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Point!
Well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Thanks, homie. Thierry is the person responsible for official contact between the Spina di Rosula and the guards. According to him, only the sufficiently rich can privately own large numbers of Gardamex, which means it was clearly the crabs!
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
I know. Oh, man. That... Man, I only just started playing this game 7 months ago. That, like, really hit me that, like, we are so close to the end now. The next nation to be released is the final of the 7. Wanderer's last was 4.6, 4.7. Oh, relatively recent-ish. Kinda, actually. Alongside fodder. Man, that's weird. I don't want this game to end. I say that as if like you guys are there's a lot of day one players in our community that like how weird must that be? I've talked about that a lot, but like and we've talked about it a lot as well. That we are now closer to Snezhnaya in terms of not me and my playthrough, but the releases are now closer to Snezhnaya than they are to Fontaine.
Welcome to the court of Fontaine.
As someone mentioned that like Fontaine seems like it was released yesterday, and now we're now closer to Snezhnaya than we are to the release of Fontaine. How weird is that? Definitely won't end with Snezhnaya. That's fair. Do you think they'll open up? Do you think they'll add like Celestia as a nation, or they'll continue to expand, similar to Chenyu, and Chasm and stuff like that? Do you think they'll continue to add on to the existing nations? Will they add on another, or will they keep the same map and just add new quests and stuff like that? It'd be really cool if the my quiet theory is that Snezhnaya like will do the whole Snezhnaya thing, but then there will be a, for lack of a better analogy, a 7.0. So like 6.0 Archon quest, like the final Archon quest will be in Snezhnaya, but then there will be another part of it. The ending of the game will be up in Celestia, and it might only be like a 3-act. It won't be a huge thing because it won't be an entire nation. But that's kind of my quiet theory. Is that we will get to go to Celestia. That's where the game will end. And I've discussed this before as well. Something will happen with Paimon. It has to. The end of this game will either anoint her as the supreme overlord of all of Tevat, or it will kill her off, or she'll be revealed to have been either she was the oldest theory is that Paimon is the sustainer of heavenly principles. That's the oldest theory in the game. It's the oldest like main theory that still hasn't had any confirmation, yes or no, at least as far as I've gotten. There's been not even any discussion as to her origins at all, which is so cool. Paimon will be able to walk. I'd also be really interested to see if they do a sequel to Genshin, and if like what that would mean, what that would be. I've also said before that I would love an Archon War Genshin. 6,000 years prior to the events of this game, where you could make it so that the landscape looks nothing like it does today, where the desert is totally different, the forest totally different, the chasm's not here, Dragonspine isn't the same. This whole even down to the like Watatumi Island maybe not like it hasn't risen yet, but a good portion of it is still underwater, and Konamiya is different if you can get down there. It'd be super interesting if and Conria as well, have Conria as a nation in a Genshin 2 if they did a prequel. I think that'd be really really interesting. Get to see like Prime Zhongli, have Ping be a playable character. Because I was about to say that Monday, actually, because isn't it in other Hoyo games, they've also done sequels that expand the universe in one way or the other, whether it's a prequel or a sequel or something like that. Like Hoyo knows what they're doing when it comes to storytelling, evidenced by Genshin and their other games as well, evidenced by the Honkai universe and Zenless and all that kind of stuff. Which I plan on this channel. I plan on playing Star Rail. I don't know if I'll play Impact 3rd, Honkai Impact 3rd. I don't know. It's attractive to me. I don't know if I'll play it though. I can't promise that. But I would definitely try out Star Rail. I would definitely try out Zenless, and I also will definitely try out Withering excuse me. Oh my gosh. I would definitely also try out Withering Waves as well, because that's also very attractive to me. Star Rail. Okay, let's end. What do I need?
Commodity.
Boats are used for transporting commodities.
Back and forth.
Back and forth. You know what? There hasn't been a lot of murder this stream.
My blade yearns for the taste of...
Let's go deposit my oculi real quick. Oh, there's still one last suspect? Oh, for some reason, I don't know why, my brain thought that the mother and daughter was the first suspect. Sorry. Hey, Fontaine. Hey, Farina, I found these laying around. Will you give me your blessing and stop being such a bratty little... There we go. It was the daughter who did it, obviously. Very clearly.
Nahida's taught me not to trust children. They're always up to something.
That's why I don't trust stairs, because they're always up to something.
Hello, how may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure, I will let him know right away.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
I ain't as good as I once was.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Well, if you're looking for wine, make sure you shop at... Dawn Winery.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
You already are.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
Which is so... These people are smart, whoever is it. Like they went the subtle route and they also went the overt route. They tried both. They've got connections and they know what they're doing. Like it clearly obviously isn't their first time. We've been over that. But like they tried the subtle poisoning technique and then they tried the just like, all right, we're just gonna beat them into submission with Gardamex. I find that really interesting.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you.
Poisson.
If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
He said a gunshot.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more, see if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
He said a gunshot, not two.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora.
Why did we not call the
All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Marcel is the leader of the Confrere of Cabriere, and was the organizer of the banquet years prior. The Confrere and the Spina di Rosula have always maintained a close working relationship. Though his recollection of the events of the case is quite foggy, he is still willing to defend Navia.
The case before us is a strange and unprecedented one indeed.
Smartest thing you've said this whole that was rude. It is Yenfei. You're right. You are so right. You're so true, bestie. Where are we going? Okay. Should I talk to Navia real quick? Or because it kind of seems like that is the stopping point. Talking with Navia.
Motion to compel.
Like it's not that long and it's not going to lead into something huge. Level up your Yanfei. Yay! Show Yanfei some love. Someone said that about in the YouTube video I made about my journey with Beto from first pull to level 90. They're like, man, it's kind of convinced me to give Beto a try. It's super fun. Yenfei, the best thing about Yenfei is that yeah, she can be overpowered, not overpowered, but she can be, is power crept the right word? But she isn't ultra powerful as a pyro character, but her fire bolts are heat seeking to enemies. And if there's someone above you, like a Samatrol, a Geo Samatrol on top of a podium or something, her charge attack and her skill will both like go up there, so you don't need to run away and pull out an archer or do anything like that. I didn't mean to summon Oz.
I summon thee.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Yeah, none of them really stood out as a suspect.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start?
Jacques' motive.
Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Did Han shoot first? If I was Jacques, I wouldn't have fired a shot at all.
Oh? And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety after killing Callus? Could he guarantee his family's safety after killing Callus?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection from my father.
Seems the third person was the one who derailed everything.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory.
A game theory!
Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible.
Is that just the ambience, or is the music suddenly got creepy?
But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Thierry.
Thierry, you say? It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah, had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Maybe it was someone else? Florent? Marcel?
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques. And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. Still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Maybe it was someone else. Connery wrong again, Florent.
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
As far as you know.
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly.
So we've struck out!
Who could it be?
I think... But usually I don't. If we could just consider the incident with the Gardamex, only one person really fits the bill. Irrelevant. What does Raiden, what does A say to us when we attack her in the first Shogun fight? Inferior. Thierry was a person responsible for official business. According to him, only sufficiently rich. Marcel is the leader of the Confrérie of Cabrières. I mean, yeah, he is old. Maybe he just forgot. But I still found it an interesting detail that he only recalled one shot. But maybe it is just... But it's only been... It hasn't been that long. It hasn't been decades and decades.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
I did it. I got it.
Could we be missing other suspects?
Sorry.
Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well.
Where is it, Lassie? Wow, that's a throwback.
The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
He is someone who's very close to you, after all.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
The synth production base. Macaw Festival with hot women. Connery no bar. Catching culprit. Connery. I was genuinely trying not to be weird in the bathhouse scene. That makes it sound even worse. Like I had to actually try not to. This isn't the production base.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
It was actually Navia the whole time.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Child?
What? Is that someone you know?
No.
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
Didn't he say when he left us? Didn't he say, "Yo, I'm gonna go pick a file. I'm gonna go pick a file with Chite. I'm gonna go pick a fight with Corin."
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
Let's split up.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to Arrhenius while I'll go investigate that place. I'm confident in my combat abilities.
Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Arrhenius, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
In the words of the invulnerable maid, leave it to me.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Linny's trial.
Also, she's a fellow Geo agent, Geo vision holder.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver, when did you two get here?
Just that small that small spot you had to run in.
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arrhenius. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then!
Combining the information regarding the Gardamex and the investigation's results so far, it can be concluded that there is only one person who can have a large number of Gardamex in his possession and run the synth business without leaving traces. This person is none other than...
Not Krabs. Marcel. It's Marcel. It's not Krabs.
Now that Navia has set out for Arrhenius, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
No rest for the wicked.
Oh my frig! What the? I only just recently built Fischl. I'm not used to you doing that much damage. Holy! I know it was an overworld slime, but
Let me scry.
I'm not even used to that. This is a. Why did I pull out her skill when I could have just used my charge attack or something? Okay. Good time to end the episode. I agree. I would like to go over here real quick. I don't think that I am going to grab the... Wait, who do I need? Wait, hang on. Whose boss do I need to fight? Oh, frankly, I need to fight Ocean, actually. Okay, let's fight this boss. And the reason why will be evident in just a second. And then let's also go fight Oceanid as well, because I would like to... The two that I'm building right now are Fischl and Mona. I'd like to get them up to spec. Then after that, I think we're going to be... Excuse me. After them two, I think I'm going to start building out Chevreuse. And then I don't know who after that. And then I'm just slowly, like when I have spare materials, I'll put, I put into like Yelan and stuff. Like if I have some spare fodder artifacts, I'll throw them into Nahida's EM artifacts. And if I have spare, like when I got Mona and Fischl both up to 70, and was capped off, but I still had books, then I would put the remaining books into Yelan and into Shogun, who, by the way, Shogun, second one to be 90'd. It was Beto, then Shogun, and now Yelan's gonna be the next one. Actually, I might be able to get her up there. Yeah, it's fine. 3 characters at 90, and of the 3, Yelan is the most built out of all of them. But I guess Shogun's pretty well built actually. 60 by 107 in crit with 200 with 197 ER. I'm not happy with Yelan's crit damage. I need to go farming for some more. It's the emblem again, but I need to get some more crit damage for Yelan. But yay! 3rd character to be finaled. What's this? Oh, theater. Oh, I haven't done the theater yet. Man, besides Mona, yeah, probably. Oh my gosh, these fucking things. Yeah, probably Mona. Because I was about to say, like, who else do I need to fight? Who else's boss do I need to fight? But we can't level up Arle's these anymore. And then the weapon is just missing more of these, which I'm gonna have to go downstairs to the island to be able to grab those. So yeah, I think Mona. But there's a reason why I want to refight that boss. And the reason may surprise you. Let's put Benny in here.
I won't hold you back.
And let's put
May knowledge guide you.
Xingqiu in here as well. Zhongli has made me so bad at dodging and so lazy with fighting. All I have to do is just shield up and then just spam my attacks and not even move. It has made me so lazy with fighting, and not only that, I wasn't even paying attention to their attack cycles. I feel like I didn't even experience this boss fight because I wasn't even paying attention to what they were doing because I didn't have to because Zhongli's shield is so strong. So I want to go experience, and if we get wiped, we get wiped. Like, because I've gotten that bad at dodging after I got Zhongli. But let's go experience this fight in the way that someone who is not invulnerable can experience it. I don't think I'm going to grab the drops from it, but... Pretty. Okay, that'll give me some damage resistance with that. I can do it again as well.
Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
Are you gonna stay in one place? Oh!
Let's light it up, Rain Cutter.
Oh! Ah! What? I shouldn't have immediately done that. Okay, let me burst. So I can reset. I immediately hit her after I did her skill. Okay, give me some rain swords for damage reduction. Ow! Ow! Ah! Ah! What's she doing? She's spinning.
Busted.
Snipe ya! Oh, with a charge shot. See, that's so much more, it's more effective. If I was just grinding that boss, then yes, I would just bust out Zhongli so I could just attack it and not move. But because I did that the first time I faced this boss, I feel like I didn't experience it. 456. How much resin do I have? I only got 39 anyway, and I don't necessarily need that right now. What's her nuts is kind of just in party just for ease of exploration in Fontaine. She's not even really here for damage that much.
Is it time for a magic show?
It's not, but
What shall we do?
what shall we do? Okay, let me hop over to a statue, and then let's fight Oceanid. And by that time, 3 minutes, yeah, by that time I should be able to get that back. Start ya. Why is Arla continuing to die, by the way? Because she was at 400 plus, now she's at 300. Why is she continuing to lose HP? Oh, it's because of the team comp. I changed for with Yelan's passive. The team comp changed, so now instead of having two hydros, or not even Yelan's passive. I mean, Yelan's passive does do that. Oh, never mind. That's her own HP. Never mind. That was just resonance. Never mind. Okay, Oceanid, I will pull out a meta team because I do want to just grind this one. And where is Law and Order? And who do I usually pull out for this? Shinobu.
What they do this time?
Everything and nothing.
Stay close and you will live.
And then probably another Pyro just for the attack bonus.
Gonna be epic.
You never fought Ocean without Cryo? Oh, I rarely fight Ocean without Electro, actually. Actually. I mean, it makes sense, because as we all know, Cryo is far more effective in the rain.
Rain? Oh, an assassin from our homeland.
That shut Yanfei right up.
Who trespasses upon the waters of Chingsa. Coveting the shapes of the living, pure water can take on many.
Oh, you know who I normally have put in here is Zhongli, so that I can be shielded. Whoops.
Is its ability to take any shape. Without solid ground, terrestrial creatures become simply helpless. The power of water is its ability to take any shape.
Let's light it up.
Crabs!
One who is ignorant of water's treasures fails also to comprehend its horrors.
Whoops. Wrong one. Wrong character.
Shine down. Let's see what happens when you lose your foothold. The power of water
Is the ability to create any shape, to take any shape.
As long as rain falls and rivers flow, water will exist
Water.
forever.
Once the bringer of life. Now the...
Ooh, I got 3.
This weather's got me.
This weather's got me. Got me all tongue-tied. All right. Ooh, perfect. Right at 3 hours. That will do it for today. We will continue Act 2 tomorrow. What did I get for... Oh, resin. For a battle pass. All right. Yeah, now after Yenfei bursts, she can tank the explosions. But yeah, usually the fourth spot is not Bennett. It is Zhongli. So I can just kind of not care about where I'm about being hit by the crabs or anything like that. Because with the electrocharged, Shinobu's EM for her skill, and then Raiden's skill as well to coordinate attack with Yenfei's firebolts. I mean, you saw how much damage it does to them. It doesn't delete them, but it is very efficient. So that's the team I usually run. I don't know why I forgot that I usually have Zhongli in here and put Bennett in instead. But anyway, that does it for today. Thanks again so much. Risley pulls tomorrow, isn't it? It is it not? Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. 19 hours. Whoo, doggy. And I have 55 saved, and we are already at 40-some pity going into it. So, if we get an early Risley, I will immediately begin pulling on Farina. Let's see. So, that does it for today. Thanks all so much. Let's get some nuts to round this one out. I disabled mid-roll ads on YouTube because so I enabled ads, so there's now ads at the start and the end of the videos on YouTube. Just to make a couple extra bucks for me to be completely 100% honest. It's to make a couple extra cents. But I disabled mid-rolls because that's lame. I don't want there to be, in the middle of the VOD, you to be interrupted by, an ad for Colgate or something. That's stupid. So I disabled mid-rolls. If you find a mid-roll in a video that I missed disabling that on, please let me know so I can disable mid-rolls on that video. I do not want mid-rolls in any of my videos so that you guys can have a better view experience. So you can keep up to date with everything on the Discord. However, we will be back tomorrow. I believe we might do an earlier one because I got stuff going on tomorrow evening. So we might go at 2:30 potentially, but I'll let you know on the Discord, which is linked in the panels in the About page on Twitch here and in the description of the YouTube if you're watching the re-upload. So thank you all. Love you lots. Drink water, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye.